Hello, gorgeous. Hi, this is the RocksAlot, and we are live. Don't know why my voice goes every time I go live, but no, I'm fine. So, what are we going to do today? Got a few different things. So, stick around. We might get into this, I'm not sure. This was some of the Providence Lost from Jeff Hill. I might just open up a piece of this just to see the color inside. I don't know if we'll end up out on the saw with that one, but I do have a few different things here today. Two little different pieces of Nacozari. I have a piece of Dolphin, Variscite, and some Windy River. And I've got some other American Turquoise and some colored or possibly rainbow Obsidian, which we might give it a try. And yeah, I don't know if we'll give this a try. We might. So just wait for a couple people to come in. While we're doing that, I'm going to put on my PPE. So I need a mask. Got a mask. Oops. Let's get a mask on, even if it's just a small one for right now. I'm not doing anything too much today that's going to produce too much silicates into the environment, but got that. I need to get my gloves on. Also, I got this, hi there, welcome in. Got this gorgeous piece of Chilean that we're going to have a quick dab at as well. Let's see. Hopefully this freckle cat will make it in today. We've been busy this week. We've had a really good week. We went out to the springs, a new springs that neither one of us had ever been to. And I don't think too many people go there because they pass two or three of the big ones on the way out. So there's some beautiful springs around here. Some of them extremely popular, especially in the summertime. And we took a trip out there. I don't know. Well, we'll go into the photos later. So this was a piece of, it looks like rainbow obsidian to me. Maybe somebody will change my perspectives on that. But it was sold as rainbow, but maybe it's just colored obsidian. But it's gorgeous, and I'm not sure quite how I'm going to cut this yet. You can see all the different layers going through. That's pretty cool. So I was thinking, not necessarily of, hey Tog, how are you? So I know you might know what this is. I happened to get a piece too. Actually, I got a couple of pieces, but I was going to give it a go at, maybe we'll cab this out. Hey Koa, how are you? Oh, that sounds like fun. Thank you, Koa. I appreciate that too. Very kind. So yeah, this was sold to us as rainbow. It looks pretty rainbow to me. And we might give that a cut later on. I was wondering if I was going to keep the natural back and maybe just cab out the front a little bit, but I don't know how it's going to go as I start rounding off that edge, if the color will stay or not, and that's something we'll give a little go at. And I had a few different types of Variscite that I wanted to try. This one is a piece of Dolphin. Hey Age, how you doing today? This was very expensive, but no, Age, that's kind of my age, it's 7 there. But no, this is Dolphin. And we got some Windy Ridge. And I think they're all basically from the same areas. This is almost like a broken up conglomerate kind of looking Variscite. And that came from Tim and Brandy on this one. So, this was also a piece of Nacozari. Looks like it's going to have some metal on the middle, and then I cut it earlier today. Why is that so bright? Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, it's still bright. I don't know, maybe we should go with no lights. But piece of Nacozari. No. Okay, here comes the light again. Well, that does look pretty good. So no lights looks better than with lights. That's funny. Hey Logan. So there's some metal that you can't see. So the dark spots are actually metal, and then I cut through it, and it's a nice blue in the middle, but not too much of the metals, and so we will cut that down. All right, mind your eyes. I'm gonna turn that light back on. Here we go. Bonk. There we go. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. I also had these nuggets, which was Providence Lost. This from Jeff Hill, and I have zero idea what the coloring is, other than it looks like a nice sky blue on the inside, but I'm not quite sure. So few things we're going to do today are investigating, testing a few different types of materials, and for my own education, the testing, like I've cut some obsidian, but I've cut it when it's got the color like this in it, not this beautiful anyway, and I don't know if it disappears as you start to round off the edges, so that'll be interesting. Got some turquoises to do, and some varicites. So it's hopefully the machine is going to start well. So I don't see if Patricia yet. This was Miss Freckle Cat's felted sub club of that opal guy. You see he's got a little opal down there between his legs, and he's also got that glint of color in him, which not all of them have. So he is part of the fan club now, and I'm hoping Patricia comes in today, because we have one of Patricia Creates, that is, and she might pop in. So let's get this going. Bit of noise, and here we go. Extra water today, I think. Keep me alive longer. Yeah, so Freckle Cat's just having fun. She felts anyway, and so she's getting the inspiration by going to your channels or stalking you guys down as far as like where you make your comments, what sort of comments you make, and that kind of stuff. What are we going to start on? That's the question. I think we're going to go with a piece of Dolphin and see if this holds together. Beautiful colors in it. It shouldn't be too hard. Let's see how this goes. Aha, there you are. So Patricia, you actually came before Cog, but you've been such a supporter of mine, and I love you for it. And Freckle Cat had put you into the, I'm afraid to turn it off, sub club, rock counting sub club. Let's take that off just for a second. Hopefully it goes right away, otherwise I'll have to pull it to pieces, but we'll do it. And so I just showed Tog, so that opal guy, that was his. And then she had made yours, and she looked at some of your content, some of your contents, and some of your comments, I meant, and she saw some of the things that you enjoy, so she went with all the pastels and the beachy, and she put a shell. So you got a shell on your lap, and yep. So we added Patricia to the rock counting sub club, and for right now they are staying here with us. Maybe at some point in the future they will change, I'm not sure. Depends on what Freckle Cat wants to do with them. Right now she has them all displayed at her work area in her studio, and I'll have to show you guys one day how she starts these off. Just because it literally starts as this giant mass of wool. It's just wool. And she starts off with wool. They don't have any special innards of any kind, and it's pretty amazing. So we'll have to do a little show on what Freckle Cat does when she does her felting. All right, hopefully this goes straight back to working. Yep. So yes, thank you, Patricia. Like I said, love you for all the support, and you've been here for a while, and I still see all your comments, and they're all very, very much appreciated, so thank you. Yeah, let's see if I can find the gang. I don't think Tog is in it. There you go. Is that right? Yeah. Come on. Here we go. Top left there, we've got Star Winters, Patricia, Desiree, Tog, and Tog's not in there, but Tog will be in the group picture. And then, hey Candy, how you doing? And then there's Stephen Pollock down there in the left. All right, let's get out of here. let's do some of what we were meant to be doing. Unless I got the tree in here. No. Oh, can I show you what she did to Toby? Poor guy. She turned him into a magician. Alright, let's get back to cutting. Actually, she's doing one of Toby right now, too. Yeah, watch out, he'll put a spell on you. Okay, enough messing around. Back to what we're here for. Alright, we're going to cut this piece of Dolphin Variscite. Here we go. Ah, and here come the sirens again. I'm just going to go around the edge, clean it up. Yeah, it's sort of show up that way, so. I was not expecting that, but I think this is actually stabilized, which is fine. Yeah, it's definitely stabilized in some manner, which probably stops it from falling to pieces. Try and do a little bit of an indentation on the cab itself, which is not a shape I often do, but I do see people do it. Actually, so Patricia, it wasn't you that said it. I think it was our friend Carol. But she made a comment, and she started it off by saying sorry. And it was one of my shorts, and I have wondered about this, but sometimes I put music on there, and I think the music, even though I lower the volume on the music behind my speech from the lives, the music kind of mutes out or changes the volume of my voice itself, so some people can't hear me actually talking through the shorts. And she started off with sorry that she was telling me that she couldn't hear me over the music, whereas I'd actually really appreciate anybody that has anything that they think may help me. Please put it in the comments. I don't get offended by it. I mean, unless you say, like, I don't know. I don't even know if you could offend me. But, yeah, please, if you notice something that may help me, because I might not notice it on this end, please feel free and put it in the comments for me, because it really does help me. Alright, go have fun at the beach. Is it hang ten? Hope the waves are good. Yeah, and it's so, you know, when I put up the shorts, I'm taking it from the live. So in the live, I have the machine behind me. Plus, I'm trying to speak up a little bit to sort of compensate for how loud the machine is. And then I put music on top, mostly because I think it pushes the video out more, not because of me. And sometimes I forget to change the volumes when I'm doing the editing. Oh, that'll be good. That'll be real fun. So Patricia, with yours, I have some miniature shells, like little miniature conch shells and little miniature sand dollars and stuff like that. And we did think about putting those into your little pup there. But if we did that, then I'd have to put like a $10,000 opal on that opal guy. Okay, I can see why they stabilize this. Let's see. It probably was pretty dusty when they first got this. So that's how it's coming off stabilized. And I mean, all the muck that comes off all the stones is pretty dirty, but I can tell by the grittiness of it what's coming off it was probably a really good idea to stabilize this to begin with. They were probably finding that you could break it from just pulling on it. Now it's stable and it looks really, really nice. Gonna get my girdle straight here. So also I noticed that, well, some people love the sound of this machine. So I don't want to take the sound of the machine away. And then Justin Cook from Black Opal Direct put out a post the other day that his machines were being automatically taken out of and sort of edited out of his background noise. He didn't know if it was because of the microphone. I think if he's filming with an iPhone, it may be because of the iPhone. But he was getting a lot of comments about not being able to hear the machine. Which I totally understand, because for me, it's part of the whole process is having the machines make that noise for me. It's actually very soothing and meditative for me now. Actually going to go onto the next wheel pretty quick on this one because this material is soft. Candy, that's cool. I haven't double checked your postings yet lately, and that's my fault, so excuse me. I will do that after today. I don't know if you're putting that content up or not. I mean, some of the Mongolian turquoise that Dave's had over the years has been pretty amazing stuff. Not that it necessarily came from Dave. I know I saw some of you in the live, the premiere, right, from Pikes Peak with Dave and Aaron. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. I'm going to start taking off that 45. Well, actually, I'm going to take off the little bottom sharp edge first. So yeah, I'm going live today, and then after this, I get to go eat blueberries to my heart's content. They went out picking yesterday morning. I think between them they got like 30 pounds of blueberries, so there's nobody else out there. That's good to know, Patricia. I'm glad that's working for you. I do always wonder about my own hearing as I get older, how it's going to hold out. Have not really had any problems, other than Freckle Cat thinks I have too many things on at the same time. Alright, I'm bringing that 45 down. A little far right there. So I gotta be really careful about my pressure on this one because it's softer in some areas than it is in others. And so I could really overcut really quickly. I am up to, I think, 2,460. Who knows? Maybe somebody's dropped off since this morning. Which means I've only got 40 to get to 2,500. And at 2,500, we will be doing an appreciation reward for my subscribers and possibly for some of the lurkers as well. So if you haven't subscribed and you're new, just tap my name at the top there and hit subscribe and then come back into the live. And then I go live on Thursdays and Sundays. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for right now, that's been pretty consistent. I think we've only missed one or two over the last sort of 6 months. Planning to keep that going the way it is. It works out really well with my work schedule. I did too a little bit when I was a kid, Patricia. I mean, I still, there were points, I guess I was probably, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old. And my parents were in Belgium and I was in England. And I had some awful earaches. just horrendous. I couldn't get rid of that pain for anything. It's a pain you'll never forget either. Um, but eventually, I had to get what they call a grommet put in my eardrum. So basically, it's just a grommet. It's like a rubber tube, and it was to release some of the pressure. But yeah, it was not fun. I don't wish that on anybody. Between that and back pain, I don't know what else could compare. Maybe dental pain is probably pretty bad. But that ear pain back then when I was a kid, that was horrible. But I do find I'm fine with my hearing now. All these years later. I don't. They're not too noisy. I mean, I do a little bit when I'm out on the saw. Because the saw is so much louder, like the motor itself is louder. This is it's not too loud. But you're probably right, Patricia, I probably should. You'd really get excused for me not to hear Freckle Cat. When I'm in trouble. It's turning out really nice. I only bought one piece of this. I wish I bought more. I wish I'd bought more of this. So even though it's stabilized, it's cutting really well. Very well. Let's go over to the third wheel here. Think. Make sure everybody's good. How's everybody doing anyway? Here I am talking about my earaches as a kid. But I hope you're all doing alright. I know summer's changed. I was talking to my mom today, and there's a weird phenomenon going on over in England right now because of the weather. It's been so hot outside that everybody just wants to jump in the water. And so a lot of people have been jumping in the water, whether it's sort of a freshwater lake or river, or even down at the beach, say down in like Brighton Beach or something like that, where the pebbles are. And well, what's happening is, I guess, from ages 15 in the 20s, even older adults are jumping in the water to cool off, and they're getting like a body shock because it's so hot outside, and the waters themselves are extremely cold still, and so they're getting these sort of the shock, and unfortunately ending up not making it back into inland. So there's all these horrific stories going on. Sorry to be so glum. But that's what my conversation today with my mom was. We're not normally that glum. But yeah, so be careful with your animals and even your own family members about, just because it's hot outside doesn't mean the body of water is hot as well. Haha, Freckle Cat. I have to show it one last time, Patricia. Well, not one last time, but one more time, just because I don't think Freckle Cat got to see it on camera. Think. Let's give it a little. All right. I don't want to get her wet. Oh, the lemongrass. Oh, I guess it's going to be all fun stories today. Turquoise Cat is out looking. She's been making changes to her garden out there outside. So she put down all kind of pavers for a little porch area, and then look at that. But we've got quite a few mosquitoes going around locally. So the lemongrass is for the mosquitoes. And I guess the U.S. is having a, how about this for a pun? So the U.S. is having an uptick in tick numbers across the whole country, from what I understand. And when we went out to the springs, we walked through the woods, and I had one on me within like 15 seconds of walking into the woods. Toby had like 4 of them trying to crawl through his fur, trying to get to him. So, yeah. I'm going to go out and get some. I was reading up about how to keep ticks away from your garden. We don't really get them here because we don't have a lot of wildlife that goes through the backyard. But cedar oil is what you're looking for. You need cedar oil. I think that's a hard question for her to answer yet, Patricia. We're not sure. We thought, because she can't make one for 200, 2,500 subscribers. Well, she could try, but it would be quite a feat to do 2,500 felted little sub-club hounds. And so I'm thinking I'm going to do memberships, and maybe we do it for the members. But she's very happy with keeping them up on her crafting shelf in front of her for inspiration for right now. Plus, it sort of adds a given connection from the little felting puppies that she's doing, and also the subscribers that she sees coming into my channel all the time. So, alright, this is looking really nice. Very happy with this. I gotta figure out where I got this from, because I might have to try and get some more. Really nice. Hi everybody, welcome in. Oh, I gotta find, who gave me rubies? Sorry I missed the rubies. I've been doing that lately. Oh, thank you, Freckle Cat. Dusty, how are you doing, sir? Well, Dusty, sometimes, these things will keep you up. I've been pretty good about it lately, though, as far as not staying up too late out here, because I like to bring you guys along with me as I'm doing stuff out here. So yeah, I think we're good. Good bottom. There's a little metal in it too. That's really neat. I like this stuff. A little bit of a bug right there, but that can stay. Very nice. Should I try in this? If you want to try the what? Gregory, thank you so much. Mr. Bishop. Keeping that flow state going. So we're going to try this. Thank you so much there, Greg. Very kind of you. That really helps. I know it sounds silly, but I think I've earned 2 checks now. The second check is about to come. Wow, it's got Alright, so I've kind of decided, I had not noticed until now that I got it wet. Well, let me keep to my first story. So, my second check is about to come. I've earned like $250 in total since January from YouTube. And I've made some money selling some of the caps, which if Freckle Cat would put my email up, I will pin it. So all these little things like the rubies, flowers, those little emojis and little gifts, they all add up, and they really do help. And they just go straight back into the hobby. Okay, so this one, look at this. So my plan originally was to possibly cab over the back because it's an end cut and you can kind of see the shape. Now that I look at it wet and a little bit closer, you can see the color is in here. And it goes all the way down the edges. So now I feel like I should almost Dremel. That'll be a rainy day for sure. Dremel this out and clean this up on the back and leave it semi-rough. Yeah, I know, Todd. I'm sorry. I had this, yeah. But I saw your post probably had 20 comments already. So let's do this. So it's Obsidian, sold to us as colored rainbow Obsidian. I know there will be some experts out there that want to differ with that. And I have no idea how it cuts other than it's going to be like glass. This 80 grit might be a little too chippy in that the pieces of diamond that are on this wheel cutting onto this sort of obsidian glass may make it chip out on the edges. So for right now I'm going to go around the whole outside, bring it in, see if I can get a girdle of some kind out of it, and that might just disappear right there too. It's not enough to keep. Oh, let me make sure I'm going to put a double mask on here. Give me 1 second. Gonna get a little muffled. Hey Stephen, how are you? Well, I'm glad you made it in. We did show the pup Subhub gang earlier. Alright, let's give this a try. Pretty soft. About soft on the 80 grit. Let's get some extra. Yeah, this is not the kind of stuff you want in your lungs. A little bit of extra water there. Alright, thanks for hanging out there. I'm thinking. Yep. I do have another full slab of this, but I wanted to test this out to see how it cut. And if you look at the edge here, well, it's still there. I don't think it's quite as colorful. It's pretty colorful here. When you start cutting it on the vertical, I don't know if that color's going to pop out or if it's just going to end up being lined. It's there a little bit. Yeah, this is really good stuff. Tog, I was surprised at the price, to tell you the truth. I know, full-on rainbow obsidian can be pretty expensive. that's on this back. Getting thicker there. Where's that really thin area? That's pretty thin right there. So I almost have to bring it in. For what I want to do with it, I need to bring that chip in. It's almost gone, and the rest I'm going to round over. Let's see. I'm going to bring this side in quite a bit as well. I'm not necessarily doing the right thing here. This is my interpretation of what I'm going to do. And I got that really thin bit up there, here, right, that little spot. I want to bring that in. It's not far to go. So I didn't bring it all the way in. You see how that color isn't there? See if I can get this. Give me 1 second here. See how it doesn't have any color? There's color there. So, I really don't need to girdle it too far in. Because once I start wanting to try and curl that edge over to dome it out, I think it may hold a little bit of color, but as soon as I get it horizontal and vertical, that color disappears. It's okay over here, but for some reason on this end it's different. And that's what's odd about cutting obsidian, is it can be all in different layers. And once you go from one angle to another, it can completely disappear, or it could give you a completely different color. So, yeah, we're going to see. Let's see. That's in enough. I'm okay with that. I'm going to bring that in just a little bit more. A little bit more. That's it. Let's go to the next wheel. Well, it does. So it does that way, and then when you turn it over, Steve, you can see it all in here. And so I think I'm going to bring a Dremel, have a rainy day Dremel day. I don't know if I'll bring you guys along or not. That's definitely a tog day. And see if I can just polish this up a little bit, sort of leaving it natural at the same time. And now what I'm going to try is I'm going to try and blend this edge over a little bit. and I'm either going to get color to go around that edge, or I'm going to lose color, but what it'll do is it'll frame the stone in non-color, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it's really nice stuff. Like I'm afraid to even try and roll this over, but we're going to do it. So, here we go. I'm hoping it holds, because it'll still be, even though I round it, it'll still be from that top direction. So here we go. I'm not going to do too much of it. Just enough to sort of roll it a little bit around the edge. You can kind of see what I'm doing. Let's do that. I think we'll see pretty quick once I've gone around the whole stone. I'm not doing as much of a sort of 45 or the thickness of a 45 that I would normally do on a cab. I'm just doing maybe 2 millimeters. And I'm hoping that's enough to see if it's gonna keep its color or if it's gonna just go plain Jane. The Janes I knew were not plain. Alright, ready for a peek? It's either going to frame it or it's going to keep color. Right now it is keeping color. So that's good, except for up at the top here, I think. So it's a little bit blurry. Look at those colors. Man, let's go in close. There we go. So I'm losing color at the top, just like up here. It's kind of there though. And then the edges are fine. The other edges. So it's sort of a mix. Although at certain angles, and you guys might not see it, it's actually there on the top too. I'm going to go a little bit deeper with it. And then I'm going to get off the metal wheel, because metal, glass, and diamond don't mix very well. And I think this is definitely going to end up having to be a wire wrapping piece. But man, look at that. So it's keeping its color on that angle. The angle looks pretty nice. A little opacity right there, that's okay. Alright, I think we're moving over. Sorry we're so close. Hi everybody. Sorry for bringing you so close in. Let's back you up just a tiny bit. Something like that should do it. Hey Dusty, thanks for popping in. I look forward to seeing those pictures. I'm sure you did a great job. So this soft wheel will be a little more delicate on this material. So it's staying on that side. Look at that. Ooh, somebody wanted to see it in person. Hey, look. That's Obsidian.
It is amazing to watch it.
Claim.
Claim for release.
Yeah, that's up. Alright, let's blend this in. You got it down? Okay. Alright. I think you can pretty much see what I'm going to try and do here. Just pulling it out to the edge and blending the sort of top sharpness, blending that in. See how it's not sharp and it's rounded there now? Very quick. Very quick. Very similar to the pull-out move. I guess it is the pull-out move. Really nice. So if I didn't have the other piece, I might have cabbed the back of this one too. But because I have the other piece, we're going to leave this a little rough on the back to give it sort of that contrast, especially if it's wire wrapped. It'll look really good front and back. Hi everybody, welcome in. I hope you're having a decent Sunday. We are cutting some beautiful colored. Really? So Purple Cat started, but then started having a few issues with her thumb. She may get back to it. And I think this one, I don't know what color wire. You could do copper. I'm a silver lover. And if you're dusty, this would become a bolo. Or a ring stone. Although it's Obsidian, so I don't know if he'd wear it even. He's one of the turquoise guy. Alright. So now it just looks a little smoother. But as you can see, it changes on that edge. So at different angles it will pull that edge up, but it does start to sort of disappear slightly. So instead of this angle and it's this angle, it almost looks framed. But as you turn it, it turns with it, except for up at this end. It doesn't do it. And then this end, it does do it. You see that? It rolls around the edge. Alright, pretty happy with that. Very happy with that. I'm just going to leave it like that for right now. I could take it on. We will take it on in the very near future. We'll do the next 3 wheels. Oh, you see that? Look at that. I had not noticed that. So there is a previous saw mark right there. See that? There it is. See if I can get it out. Coming out slowly. So I'm going to attack it from all different angles. So it's going. Yeah, it's almost gone. I smoothed it out. Hey, I am. How you doing? Haley. Yeah, beautiful colors too. Welcome in, Haley. Yeah, I would call it a rainbow obsidian. I don't know if we have any experts that may not agree with that. So when you got blues and greens and a little bit of red in there, golds, you gotta be pretty close. Do a quick dry test on that one. I think it's gone. Did I get rid of it? Awesome. Okay, that's gone. So when I'm done, it should have a wet polish like that. It should polish like that. I'm glad you're here too, Haley. Really beautiful material. Alright, one last one. What's next? Let's try... Why not? Let's try the little bit of Nacozari. Move back over to this 80 grit wheel. Hi everybody, welcome in. So this Nacozari, you can see the pyrite. I don't think the pyrite's going to hold. I think it's just on the outside of the nugget. And then when I cut it earlier this morning, it is a beautiful blue. A little more sky bluey. Not quite sky blue. I think we're just going to cut this little piece right here, see what happens. Let's give her a go. Welcome in everybody. If you're new, thank you so much for being here. Definitely stabilized. This one smells more tropical. So I'm just going around forming a basic girdle on the outside. Which if you look at faceted stones or cut diamonds, that kind of stuff, they have a girdle too. same outside line that goes around the outside of a diamond is the same sort of flat area that I'm trying to make on the outside of this stone. Flatten that bottom out well. Hi everybody, thank you for being here. Brownie, how you doing? Thank you for saying hi there in the chat. Much appreciated. Appreciate all those thumbs up there too. Look at cotton. I'm not worried about the numbers today. Oh well, I'm worried about, not worried. Trying to get to 2,500. If you're a subscriber when I hit 2,500, we will be doing another appreciation reward. I don't even know what it's going to be yet. It'll be, maybe there'll be one or two of them anyway, but probably something I cut. Something I cut, maybe something that came from an estate sale that I found. I am maybe changing decision on this. We're going to start to take this down. But I'm actually thinking I may bring it down and then back it and then bring this as the top. So let's bring down this top, this rough area, and see what's underneath. Ultimately, not only I'm trying to make the biggest face, but I'm also trying to make the cleanest face. And I won't know that for a second here. So I'm going to start cutting it as if that rough area was going to be the top, but it may change. You can see the black coming from the pyrite. That kind of blends in with the gloves. So yeah, I was looking for, I think we're either this week or next week, we're probably going to hit that 2,500. And then I will do a post of when we'll be doing the reward and what we need to do to have a chance of winning it. I'm gonna click for Star. I hope Star's doing alright. If you don't know Star Winters, he's over in England and puts up some shorts with the pigeons and the garden and the flowers and everything. Pretty neat stuff. Up in the north of England. Alright. Look. It looks pretty good. So I've got one little cavern there, another little cavern there, I bring those down low enough to keep a decent face. The only one that really concerns me is this one. Right now, I'm lowering my girdle, which is a little dodgy, so I'm going to try and keep this top. Getting pretty low. Let's move on to the next wheel. One second here. That'll help. Alright, I have to change a setting real quick. Let's clean that up. Let's bring you over. There we go. That's better. Got to bring this side in quite a bit. There's a little bug, a little cave. Nice, that's much better. Clean up my shape. I think I'm going on to the next wheel already. Hi everybody, welcome in. I should say hello, gorgeous. Hello, gorgeous. I used to say that a lot. I used to say it so much that they opened up a store after it. That's from like 20 years ago. It's like from like 20 years ago, maybe 30. No, I don't know, 20. Wouldn't be 30. Not yet. Alright. Looking pretty. It's gonna have that little bug in it, and that's okay. Having one little bug in the top face sometimes gives it that natural look to it, even though it is stabilized material. And I'm not too harsh on stabilized materials. Sometimes you have to do it to save the material. So if it wasn't stabilized, nobody would see it. They wouldn't see the light of day. And this is a way that it can be saved for the future. So for me, as long as it's not changing its color, I don't really have too much of a problem with it. I'm not a fan of dyed stones at all. Alright. is looking nice. Hey Jerome, thanks for coming in. Welcome, I appreciate you saying hi in the chat there. I am headed for 2,500 subscribers. I go live on Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And even if you don't subscribe, I really appreciate you just being here and watching for a little while. So I'm off on my shape just a tiny little bit there, but that's a pretty looking stone. Now here there's a same mine. You ready for the difference? Same mine, different color. This one hits me a little bit. So when I cut that one, I was cutting it out on the trim saw, and nobody had noticed prior to me. I only noticed after I'd cut it that it was probably a clamshell pseudomorph. And nobody had noticed that it was a clam, and I didn't notice until I cut the rough nugget open, because it didn't really have a clamshell shape until I cut it through the middle, and then I could see that it was probably a clam at some point. And then the cavity had got filled in. So especially with like opal and turquoise and varicites, before you cut into a rough piece, see if you can work out if it was a pseudomorph of some other kind at one point. The shells, mostly shells, teeth, bone, you never know. Wood. Hey Valerie, how are you? Larry, welcome in. No, but honestly, Larry, out of all the ones that I've watched, the one I would love to go to the most is actually Quartzite. Even if I have to rough it for a little while. Or semi-rough it, I'm not sure what it would be. But of all the sales that I see, gem shows and such, Quartzite would be probably my number one that I would like to go to. I mean, of course, there's Tucson and Denver and plenty of others that I'd like to go to. But Quartzite would be my number one. So it's funny you would ask that. Hey Ken, how are you doing today? Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Well, I'm out here cutting stones, so I'm doing good. Yeah, I would love to go. It just seems, I don't know what the right word for it is. Sort of homegrown show that's still out there. Something that hasn't been too highly commercialized, although I believe it's changed some too. But then the mineral show, the German mineral show that Freckle Cat and I went to locally was actually surprisingly good. And, you know, it was just people that traveled with their materials and followed basically the sort of Gem and Mineral Society tour. They'd all come back from Tucson and were showing up and down the East Coast. But they were the people that weren't going to pay $10,000 for, you know, to be a vendor in a air-conditioned venue. They have to sell half their stock just to make their money back, if not more. So Quartzite's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm sure it has. Yes. God Range, this is a soft wheel, Nova soft wheel from Diamond Pacific. The one that you see right here is also diamond. That's a 220 grit, also from Diamond Pacific. So this is just layered with diamond on the top and the metal. It's not a complete sintered wheel. And then this one, I don't know if we can see on the other ones. Let's see. Here we can. So these are all soft wheels too. You can see sort of the sponge-like material, and then the hard wheel below it. So this spongy area gives you sort of some give when you're pressing on the wheel, and it's really good for taking out facets. So I can press on this one hard and it pushes in a little bit, but if I use a hard material on that hard wheel, they tend to chip pretty easily. Let's do this bottom edge right here. This is a 280 grit right here. Nice little stone. I gotta change my lighting somehow because it just doesn't pick up on the color that well. It's a beautiful blue. Let's get that one. That one, and then we did this one already too. One Variscite, one Turquoise. Alright. Oh, and we did this one too. We're actually 3 in and I didn't even notice it. Now I see, you see that right down the end? Let's see if I can. So I find when I'm going live that I don't do all the double checks that I should be doing, maybe because I'm chatting a little too much. Well, not too much, just chatting. And so I miss little things on my stones. And you see, I'm gone. Nice little blend over the top there. And I'm going to come back to this piece several times before I feel done, finished with it. I've got 3 more wheels to do on it, but once I get this cleaned up some, it's going to look really good too. Alright. Next, let's see. Should we try one of the other Varisites? I'm going to try the Windy Ridge, which I'm not sure if this was the one. But I know Dave had a claim at one point, and he could have claimed this one and didn't. I think this is the one. It almost looks like a like an Andamuka concrete without the color, doesn't it? Mostly. Sometimes I'll be grinding it well too hard, God reigns. Sometimes. Hey Zahir, how are you today? This one? This one is a rainbow obsidian. Some may just call it a colored obsidian. But yeah, it's volcanic glass basically. And it was the end cut. And yeah, it turned out really nice. I don't want to overdome it because I don't want you to lose any of the color. And Freckle Cat came in here and put an instant claim on that one. That's how pretty it is. Hey, Lucky Kicks, how you doing? Lucky, you still in the competition? I don't know if you and Dusty had made it this far. I know they had done one cut. I know you did really well. So congratulations on that. Lucky Kicks that's in the chat there was in the People's Artist competition by Johnny Depp and the Art Forum magazine. I don't know where he ended up finishing. It's still going, but I think they just did another cut. And I know Lucky Kick's probably got at least up to 8th or 9th across the world, which is amazing in his category. Alright, now I'm going to press a little hard. This is the 80 grit. A little bit noisier, the harder I press and the harder the material, the noisier it gets. Is it Windy Valley or Windy Ridge? I forget. And where's the other one? I don't know if this is stabilized or not. The other one was definitely stabilized. This one might not be. But I gotta get rid of all this rough edge anyway. I know, it's stabilized. Yeah, that's pretty amazing, Lucky. Just to even be invited to do it is pretty cool. And the reason I didn't know if you were still in it, I watch, I don't know if you watch him also, but Steve Oliver over on the other platform. He's I think he said he was in 5th last night, maybe. Star! Click, click. We've talked about you already. In fact, your ears may have been burning a little, Star, because I was chatting to my mom about your address and how close akin it was to some of the places that I visited when I was a kid. Even though it looks great from the bottom, I still have quite a bit to come in. I mean, I'm going to angle that somewhat, but I got to get off the rough spots off that angle. Dug in a little too hard there, but it's getting there. Alright, I'm starting to ease up on the pressure a little bit. That's good there. That's good there. That needs a little turnover. Now I'm going to think of an angle. We're going to round that out. I think we're rounding that out a little bit. This is a thick piece too. Now we're good. Hi everybody. Now we're good. Good down the bottom, and I'm hoping this should round off right there, so that should be fine. Let's do this tip a little bit. It's a little too sharp. I don't want it to break off later on. It might still break off, but just rounded it a little bit. This is a Windy Ridge Valley Variscite. It almost looks, because of the chert that's in there, it's almost like a color treated Andamuka without the opal in it. But the natural greens in there and everything is really nice. Alright, now I'm going to start angling it down. I'm good there. Just checking my angles. I'm okay there. That one's good, but we're going to blend that over. I'm pretty good there too to blend over. Alright. Probably the last one on this, I'm going to do a 45 all the way around the stone. What's great about this material, because it almost looks like a conglomerate, it's very surprising that it's not chipping out at all. Which is really good, really, really good. Alright, let me go on this side. My 80 wheel is slowly starting to dull a little. But I've had it probably 4 years, so it's expected. But they're about, these wheels, just these first two, are like $180 each. Which is why those rubies up there really help. It's all going back into materials and equipment. I forgot to put in my email. Actually, Miss Freckle Cat put it in. I forgot to put it up. But if you're ever interested, that's my email. tag it up. You can take a quick screenshot if you want. But if you're ever interested in any of the cabs or anything else that I put up on the channel, just give me a quick email. It's sir.rocksalot@outlook.com. And there's a stone that you might like to purchase. I really just try to get out my time and the material cost, and that's about it. So a lot cheaper than probably where you'd find it other places. It's similar, Lucky, but it cuts way different. Found the Chiba was a little bit softer, actually. And maybe because of the stabilization process. But for me, it seems to be holding together a bit better than the Chiba and also the Cristo. Although some of the Cristo is gorgeous. I'm really putting a heavy angle on here. I know this seems like a lot of work on this wheel, but the more work I can get done on this wheel, the quicker it is on the others. That's pretty good. See the angle right there. Let's do down here. All right. Now that's okay, Star. Thank you so much for being here. And I bet you're the one hitting, well, I don't know who it is, but somebody's hitting those hearts down in that bottom right corner, and that all helps as well. You can click those as much as you like. I'm going to bring a 30. So I've cut it at a 45. And yeah, those ones. And you can change them into confettis and peekaboo faces and all kinds of stuff. But I'm guessing. So I'm going to do a 30 on that angle. Hopefully. Let's see how we do. Yeah, 45, 30. Somewhere around there. I got half of it done right. The other half I didn't do very well. And this is the last side. the triangle of the dome. And I'm going to try and do a little bit of a 16 degree on there, but I really don't need it too much, and then I'm going to move on to the next wheel. Looking good. Hi everybody, thank you for being here. Oh wow, look at all those thumbs up. Thank you so much. I think a bolo would be really good, Ken. Alright, let's blend all those together. I think I'm going to do it on this wheel though. Jen, yeah, probably. Welcome in, Jen, by the way. Probably either a pendant, sort of that way, or because I could put embellishments on the edge of it if I would put it into silver. I could have it plastic surgery for my nose. What do you think? Never thought about that. I could have a Variscite nose. Nothing wrong with my nose. I have a beautiful nose. Well, that's good, Freckle Cat. I have had it knocked into place a few times over the years. And I'm just sort of rolling those three angles together. And I have to be careful because I'm still on a metal wheel. And the outside of this metal wheel, if it's given the chance, loves to put a nice grinding mark in there. Just to complicate things. In fact, it does it so much that I'm about to get off of here. So when a stone's only an inch and a half long or an inch and a half wide, it's really easy on these machines. But once you go over the width of the machine, it's easy to just, by mistake, just touch it on the edge, or even sometimes pull it over to the other wheel. This way wouldn't be so bad, but going the other way would be not a good idea. But so much, I think we're going to get off of this wheel. I've jinxed myself now. Let's go over. Hi everybody. Thank you for those. Amari, thank you so much. Very kind of you. I don't know if you saw. I don't want to get. We added Patricia from Patricia's Creations, so you'll see it when you go to, if you do go back, or you're going at 4-speed when you go back. It's fairly close to the beginning, maybe the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I could show you on the camera. Let's see. I can show you on the green screen. This was a cog in it though. Right, dang it. So right next to you, actually, Star, that's Patricia Creations, Desiree below you, and Stephen Pollock down there at the bottom of the chair. And then poor little Toby, ready. It's not even Halloween yet, but Toby's getting ready. Come on, there you go. Very, very proud, handsome young man. All right, back to what we were doing. Windy Ridge Valley, Variscite. Great stuff, cutting really well. Just going over where I've previously cut on the girdle. Just do the back a little, because we don't want to forget it completely. That's neat. So if we have one cat that's the size of 4, Tibbin and Pebbles. Toby does get called a pebble pup sometimes. I like to find my rocks on the floor too. When I'm sorting through cutting material. I'm just doing that sharp edge. So that's got the sharp edge. That's blended a little bit. So just getting rid of that sharp edge so it doesn't chip out. It also helps when you're setting a stone. I don't know if Lucky Kicks is still here, but I believe it helps because the soldering or the silver solder, you know, it can pull a little bit, and you can take it out by sanding a little bit. But having that little tiny bit of a groove in between the bezel wire, the back plate, and the solder that's spread, it helps the stone sit down into the setting better. Unless you're using sawdust, which a lot of people do. Hey, crazy auntie. All over the place. We have, so some of the stuff that I have next to me, oh, like this Aqua Nueva, yeah, came from a gentleman. Where is he? There you go. That's where I got some of my slabs from. So my hard rock slabs, I get some from John here. That's jvross65 at Yahoo. Slabs and material, just reach out to him by email. Here, let me, one more time so you can screenshot it if you like. Just tell him that you came over from RocksAlot and he'll help you out. And then a lot of it I get from sales that Dave does, lapidary Dave. So Jeff Hill, McKay, Age sometimes, Tim and Brandy, Don Dupuy over at Diamond Pacific, the owner of the Diamond Pacific Corporation. He sells some of his material sometimes. And then I do stuff online. Like, I dig around online, I look at people's reviews, I do look at what country they're coming from. Some could be eBay, some could be Etsy, some could be their own website. And another good place to do it is your local Gem and Mineral Society, which if you're close to any big city, there should be 1 or 2 like in your proximity. Those are always good places to find stuff. Yeah, I'm looking for gem and, you know, sort of looking for the festivals and the shows. And going there in person. It's so much easier to buy in person than to buy online. blending that over right here. That's good. It's a little funky. A little funky right here though. Right? A little funky, there you go. Good. Love that little light spot that's come up in the corner there. It's looking really good. Hey Todd, how you doing? Does it pull out? We should be good. Doing good on time. I think we'll do one more after this. And we'll switch over to the Chilean blue. Alright. Wow. Very nice. Let's get it. There we go. Nice clear shot of that one. Here are the other ones. There's one, there's one. Love them all, actually. They're really nice. Which one? Hey, Mark. This one, that's A, B, C, or D. A is a rainbow obsidian. Hey, Harold. Welcome in. Yeah, I've done some Australian opal. Yeah. I happen to have this little piece up here. It's just blue. I should do more. The last piece I think we're going to do D, this one. This is Dolphin Variscite. Really cool. Sort of mossy though. Maybe it was a Dolphin Turquoise, I don't know. Gorgeous stuff. Wish I bought more of that one. And then this was a Nacozari without the Naco. Why is it so bright? I'm sorry about that. Crazy bright. Don't like it. Yeah, this one's beautiful. All right, last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a piece of Chilean turquoise. Hi everybody, welcome in. Sorry, I'm going to move you over here. A little bit more over there. There we go. Get some more water in here. That's so I don't die of silicosis. I do have a mask on and goggles on too. A little bit of coffee. Oh, here's a good friend. So I don't know if you guys know Robert over at Global Prospecting. And actually his site's on the bottom there, letscutopal.com. He mostly does Ethiopian rough, but he does do a little bit of Brazilian and some Australian Cuba PD and Lightning Ridge from time to time. But he's got all kinds of mineral specimens and types, fluorites, everything. And that's Robert over at Global Prospecting. He goes live on Thursdays at 9 Eastern Standard Time. I go on live Thursdays at 6 Eastern Standard Time and Sundays at 2. Alright, let's see what kind of color we got in here. It's like a splotch. Obviously, I think it's going something in there. Yeah, Mark, they're my favorite too now. Miss Frecklecat, would you mind putting up my email again, please? This one is stabilized. Thank you. Awesome. So if you are ever interested in a stone or a cab or some rough, just let me know. That is my email. That is now pinned down the bottom there. Go around the whole outside of the stone, and then we'll take a peek at the color. Yeah, that would look pretty cool. Pretty good idea, Mark, actually. You can kind of see the color coming out. Which one? This one or the other one? They're not quite finished, so it's hard to put price on them. If you just email me below, Mark, I will be happy to get back to you. The other one, the thicker one. So this one is actually Windy Ridge, and it would have to go probably by carat at this point. It wouldn't be crazy. It's going to be the time I put into cutting it and the cost of the rough, basically. I don't have to pay for an overhead for a store or anything like that. But, you know, you're still looking at, you know, it's over $40. It's probably going to be just a bit over 50 actually. So, but we can discuss that. I have to look at what it cost me. Need to bring it in just that little bit on that edge, just to make that clean, and it might come around a little bit. Yeah, it does. And we've had I've had quite a few customers coming in now from, our friends here in the chat, and some of it's for the stone, some of it's just for support, and it all really helps. It all goes back into the channel and also the equipment. So this is the bottom, may turn into the top. Wow, look at that. I like the matrix on this side too. I don't know what that is, but it looks like some sort of Hindu god with a wand. Where'd it go? Oh, there you go. Or some sort of mermaid. I don't know. It's too early for me to start seeing things in stone. Alright. I have a dinner time, so we are good. Thank you all for being here. Alright, we're at 69 thumbs up. And it's getting screechy, which means I need some extra water in here. A little bit of extra water. There we go. Keeping me safe. I don't know what we're going to eat yet. I know we got blueberries. They went out and picked blueberries yesterday, and there wasn't a competition, but there's like a competition. We're silently in a competition. My sister-in-law always comes back with more than anybody. I think she ended up with 12 pounds. Freckle Cat ended up with 9 pounds. And I don't know how many pounds my father-in-law came back with. But they had a really good they had a really good time because there was absolutely nobody else in the field. And they go pretty early, so it's nice and cool. So yeah, probably 25, 30 pounds of blueberries. And it's a shame because somebody has to eat them. In the southeast of the U.S., Mark, even though I have this wonderful accent. Yeah, email me and I'll let you know. And let's see if you can see what I'm doing. Actually, we're doing the dome and turning the stone at the same time. This is much easier to do with a turquoise or an opal, a large one. And then we just do a quick roundabout. Some of this material's turned out really, really nice. Hey, Hippie Sophia, welcome in. You're nuts, welcome in. You can see that natural fact. And because of that, I don't know what we're going to do. So it's not a crack. I mean, it is a crack, was a crack, got filled in. But if you just look at that on, a piece of jewelry, you're going to think it's a crack, even though it's naturally healed. And so because of that, it's not so bad when it comes into something like this. So I'm going to see if I can switch sides on this one. That was not the plan. I'm going to do the same thing that I just did on that other side to this side and see if this comes out clear with a crack going through the middle. Like I say, it's not really it's a fracture that got healed with the matrix. So it's not going to break. This looks odd. I have not. I have some that I've collected over the years. I need my toothbrush for this one. Shame. I got the dome going on this side. If you set that, you would think so. I guess I could set it with like a snake head coming up the middle. Come up to the side a little. Really? So yeah, she's actually, I forgot. So Frecklecat has actually taught some lessons at our local museum. It's a big museum, the university museum. And she's actually taught some lessons over there with felting. So she's pretty good. And as with most creators, myself included, we're pretty hard on ourselves. Maybe too hard on ourselves. Yes, it is, Chris. Yeah, you don't want to be sucking this down your lungs, the dust, which is why we have this here for safety. I've got a mask on also for safety. Especially if you cut this a lot all of the time kind of thing. So it is an epoxy, and yeah, it's not great for you. I do wonder, does the copper content keep critters away? So I'm going to lightly dome this side, just lightly. Hey Mike, how are you? Welcome in. Well, Frecklecat hadn't either, Sophia. So we did have her Clem Creates on Facebook. CLEN Creates. And then she was thinking about doing more on YouTube, but she's a little afraid of being on screen too much. because it can really suck you in. Looking at your analytics, looking at how many people have watched, you know. I'm happy all you guys are here. I don't take it personally if you don't watch. I don't take your comments personally. Well, I do, because they mean a lot to me. But the ones that are a little more sinister and hateful, they don't bother me too much. The rest of yours, they count a whole bunch and do mean a lot to me. And I can kind of figure out who means well and who doesn't. Yep. Let's move over to this last wheel. I'm gonna have to think about this one. I might have to cut it. It's just a shame. So if there was other matrix in here, I would leave that line there, but even though I know it's just a line of matrix, people that look at it would think it was a crack. And even the more I go down, the worse it looks. It doesn't snap. So yeah, I wish it was all like that stuff. It is here. This is a pretty safe space to be in. Just a down-to-earth channel. You know, we're making ugly rocks into prettier rocks, and the chat remains safe as well. So we don't go into politics and religion for a reason. Not that we don't have our own opinions, we do, but like I said, it's more of a safe space here than anything else. Although the trolls do help, they help with the analytics. She sure does, Hippie. Yeah, I went to school real close to where you live, Hippie. I know you probably don't remember that, but it was over in one of Simon's chats. And we were talking about the Bell Railway, or Railroad, the Bluebell. And I live not too far away from there. And close to where the first Roman roads were coming up from the southern coast. Alright, do we keep it in there? Man, I wish that wasn't there. Beautiful color. It's got some other matrix in there. It's just not as striking as that healed crack right there. Well, now I live on the other side, but that's some really good years down there, Hippie. Alright, we're going to leave that one like that. How are we doing? We're not bad. I think we'll do this. 1, 2... Oh! 3, 4. Let's see if we can do this one real quick without everything cracking out. Let me get a picture of this one too, sorry. 1, 2. This is a little bitty. This is a Nacozari, and it does have some pyrite, but I imagine the pyrite's going to disappear when I cut it. And I'm going to see if I can get a little something out of this, but it's pretty teeny. I don't think it might just crack out. Here comes the pyrite. See in that dark metal color there. Ugh. Changed the color of my water right there. A little bit over. Oh. Yeah, the blue is gorgeous. I had some other pieces of this, and I have them around here somewhere, but when I cut this, I did not know that I think it actually was a pseudomorph clam. And it would have been worth a lot more money had I not cut it. But I didn't know that, and the person that sold it to me didn't know that either. But yeah, pseudomorphs, so fossilized, so pseudomorph, it used to be a clam. The insides of the clam disappeared, and then it got filled in with turquoise, which then gives it that shape of the clam as well. Hey Dave, how you doing? Yeah, Dave. Dave, this was one of the ones from you and Ray. It was probably this big, and it was all blue inside like this. It was in the Nacozari, and I am pretty sure, I'm almost positive that it actually was a clam pseudomorph, and none of us had recognized it. And I didn't recognize it as a nugget because it had other matrix material on the outside, and I didn't recognize it until I cut it in half, and then I could see the shape of the clam on the inside of the cut. But it was a chunk. Hey Gumplin, how you doing? Otto, welcome in. Funny hats are good. We like hats. So this is getting smaller quick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to save any of that pyrite. Yes, turquoise. And I think all that pyrite's about to disappear. It's okay. Let's flatten this down. It's getting small. What a great live we've had today. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces done, maybe 6. That is grinding them out, popping them out. Ah, there it goes. Alright, that's the end of this one, so point. It went. And I'll have to, I don't know what we'll do with that. I might go into a bottle or something. The other pieces came out great. So there goes number 6. Let's try one more. Let me try this little. This is just American. Came from sand. Stabilized. Well, welcome in, Gumplin. Appreciate you. Yeah, very tiny earring. Gonna take all the glue off the back and make sure I got my mask on properly. This one you can definitely smell. Get my water on there properly. Pressing pretty hard. I'm doing okay. Love all you guys coming in today. Thank you so much. I don't know if we're there, but if you are a subscriber, when we hit that 2,500 mark, we will be doing an appreciation reward. So the sooner I get there, the sooner I'll be putting up a post of what you need to do to be in the competition. It's not a competition, just to be involved with the giveaway. It will all be free, and unless you're outside the United States, I will be paying for shipping. Ah, look at the color on this. So I just pulled the back off. That's pretty. I like that. I like that a lot. Mastic Mountain. I have never heard of Mastic Mountains. Dolphin. I think I've heard of Mount Superstition. I'm going to have to look that up. We had Lucky Kicks in a little bit earlier. I think he's a little bit north of you. And he entered into the People's Artist competition with Johnny Depp in the Art Forum magazine. And I don't know his exact place in his category, but he got somewhere around 8th or 9th, I think. Maybe higher. And there's another gentleman that I watched, Stephen Oliver, over on the other platform. Who's a great person to watch because he explains the silversmithing process. But he also explains a little bit of the history and different techniques of using his family stamps and things like that, which is really important to him. Having those passed down tools just adds to the energy that gets put into each piece of jewelry, and it's really important to him, and I totally understand it. I don't know what kind of shape we're going here, but it's telling me something. Hi there, thank you for saying hi. A little off on my angle, so we're going to bring that in. So I'm just over here, I should be over here. I'm just looking at this little angle right here that I have to change. It's not quite right. Something a little more like that. And a little more like that, I think. Still off a little bit, but it's better, right? It still needs to come up here. And then I think we're good. Much better. Stop pulling this over the edge here. Actually, let's take the top. I need to see what's underneath this skin right here, because that'll decide which side I'm going to actually dome over. And I have a feeling it may be the other side. Come on. I'm being a little hasty on this one. Yeah, I think it's a little less scary than the dentist. Well, I got my Dremel over here, my rotary tool. We could always fix you up with that. Maybe that's what I should do on the weekends when I'm not doing lives. Is yeah, when I'm not doing lives, I could have a little shop in the back here. We can fix you up real quick. Email me if you need some dental things done. No, don't. Please don't. I'm just joking. Alright. So, which side do we like? I think. See how I kind of angled it came to a little pyramid? But pretty sure I like this side better. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to flatten that out. Maybe I got some. I don't have anything to put you out with, but I think we might have a few people in the chat that could probably come up with some sort of concoction from their garden. Oh man, come on. Alright. So just because it's got that little blend there, I'm going to blend all the corners real quick. It's not the plan, but it'll take out these sharp little corners anyway. Hey Nick, how you doing today? Not too much. Like how ancient are you talking stuff? Like when you say ancient, I don't know how far back we're going. It's still off. That corner is still off. It's actually okay. I got complete square? I guess I do. Well, it depends on how ancient that you're talking. Are you talking about polishing stones? Are you talking about silversmithing? So a lot of the silversmithing in the, I believe, and I might be wrong, but a lot of it, the Native American silversmithing was taught a lot by the Mayans south of the United States. And that was back in the early 1800s, I believe. Now, if that's completely true, I don't know. I mean, I think I was doing, when I did my school projects on the Incas and Aztecs back when I was a kid, I'm pretty sure a lot of that was back sort of the 1400s and to the 1600s. I'm not sure when that skill would have been passed over from the Mayans up north. It might be a lot earlier than we think. I mean, if you get into like some of the Egyptian stuff and polishing some of the hard granites. I imagine they just used powders, almost in the same way that we use powders in a tumbler. But I'm just guessing. It's not something I've really gone into. But now I've got a couple of things that I got to look into. The mountains there, and yeah, I got to look at the mountains. Now I got to look at some polishing materials from ancient times. I mean, I've used everything from a a shoe polisher to sandstones. So yeah, you could use different grit sandstone, like literally from a quarry. So hardened stones. I know this is getting smaller, but I'm really pushing on my shape, and I'm pretty good on my shape now. I was going to do sort of a diagonal cube, but it changed. So now I'm going to take off this bottom edge, just so it doesn't chip out. Oh man, I got to watch my time again now. I have now run out of power twice on my lives in the last month, because we keep going. Let's see. Yeah, it's turning out really nice. Now I'm going to do a bit of a 45. I'm not even going to concentrate on the corners yet. Just going to concentrate on getting a straight edge 45 on all four sides. Like that. That is not straight. Like that. That is pretty straight. A little bit more. Last one. Now, so I've got my angles going. The corners I can do at any time, because once you get that small, that little point's going to disappear extremely quickly. Let's do that. I'm just trying to get the height of my girdle even all the way around right now. It's not quite there. Pressing really soft. That looks pretty good. And now I'm going to move over to the next wheel. Oh. Haha, you think I'm real? Haha. Just a new AI they're trying out. They've been using me for a while. I am a Dalek. You don't want to hear my Dalek impression. Just going around to each side and rolling it over the top and hopefully I'm putting the same pressure on each time I do it. That evens that top out. I'm still not going to do the corners. So, see how I've got my little facets on the corners. Those are going to come out on the next wheels. So, yep. 1, 2, 3. Let's turn that off. Let's get a quick picture of that one. We've still got 3 wheels to do on all of these stones. Oops. And then let's have a look at these that we did today. So, been working for 2.5 hours. I appreciate you all being here, I really do. And then let's take a quick peek at these. So we did get 6 done and 1 broken, which isn't terrible. Let's bag it up just a little bit. And we've got plenty of stones that I need to finish. Let's get that in. There you go, that's not bad. Boom. Sorry, I'm whistling in the microphone. I love this middle one. There we go. Look at that. So, Windy Ridge Variscite, Rainbow Obsidian, Dolphin Variscite. This down the bottom is an American turquoise, probably Arizona. This is actually Nacozari, even though it doesn't have much Naco in there. And this is a piece of Chilean turquoise from Chile. Gorgeous. So, let's see. I don't think I can get. So, thank you all. I'm getting pictures of the cat. I don't know what he's up to, but he might be licking Toby, which would be the first. So the cat licking the dog, maybe, possibly. That's just a hope. But yeah, thanks you all for being here. I really appreciate it. We are almost close to that 2,500. What an event that's going to be for me. Very, very unexpected. We've actually got more subs this year so far than I did the whole of last year, which is just amazing. I appreciate you taking your time to come in here just to watch and share and chat. And even if you're just watching, love you guys too. So if you hit the subscribe, I do go live on Sundays at 2 o'clock and Thursdays at 6 p.m. and that's Eastern Standard Time in the US. I am going to be putting up a really cool little video of the springs that we went to. The trees there were amazing. I've seen some amazing trees around this state, but I have never seen anything like this. This was like sort of the tree of life growing in the sort of life waters, springs of life, whatever you'd like to call it. So I'm going to put that up probably tonight, and I'll put up another short from today's live. And oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you coming in, Sarah. That's really nice of you. I'm glad you came in. I'm glad you said hi. Yeah, it's really neat, Star. There is a quick snippet of Toby's first swim. And yeah, it was a really nice day. And we'll be doing some other days during the summer out and about. So thank you all for joining me. Stay safe during the week. I will see you Thursday at 6, if not before. And again, thank you. Love you for being subscribers. We're going to continue with the Rock Hounding Sub Club. I don't know who's next on her list, but she's got somebody in mind. So in the meantime, take care of each other. And most of all, take care of yourselves. And I'll see you soon. Take care now. Love you. Stop. Cheers now.